So here our interest is to derive an equation of the Darcy's. So which is available, so that it is in order to determine the losses, in order to determine the major losses in the pipes, so we are deriving this Darcy's equation. We are deriving the Darcy's equation. So in the major losses in the pipes, we have two equations. One, it is a Darcy's equation. And other one is a Chassis formula. So we have two equations in order to determine the major losses in the pipes. One, it is the Darcy's equation. The other one is a Chassis formula. So let us derive the Darcy's equation now. So in this session, so in order to determine or in order to derive any equation for the frictional loss in the pipes due to the head, so that it is head loss due to the friction. So now, what if you see here in this on screen, so what are the construction we have? So as far as the construction is concerned, so here we have a constant pipe of diameter D. So here we have constant pipe of diameter D. So that means if you see, so there is no cross-sectional change happening in this one. So let us fix that D is the diameter of the pipe. Let us fix this D is the diameter of the pipe, and P1 and P2, and P1 and the P2. So that is a pipe at where the pipe pressure at the entry of the section 1 and at the section 2. So where in between, if you see, the pressures are being balanced in between the point 1 and point 2. So where P1 and P2 represents the pressure inside the pipe, and where F1 is the frictional resistance force, acting inside the pipe, and let us define even some more terms. Let F dash is a frictional resistance inside the pipe, wetted area. Right. So where we have currently, we can see that the F dash is represented. F1 is represented, that is capital F1 is represented here in this one. In order to state that, as with respect to the fluid flow, is concerned, this resistance is offering the opposite side force. So that we are calling it as a frictional resistance force. So now let us apply the Bernoulli's equation. At point 1 and at point 2. Let us apply the Bernoulli's equation at point 1 and point 2. So then we will see how exactly the fluid flow is varying inside this. Then we will notice it how the fluid flow is varying inside this. So applying the Bernoulli's equation, at point 1 and point 2. So applying the Bernoulli's equation at point 1 and point 2, we get it as, so let us apply at point 1, that is P1 by rho g plus V1 square by 2g plus Z1 is equal to P2 by rho g plus V2 square by 2g plus Z2 plus F1. Now here you may notice it, or you may have a doubt that why F1 is being added. In the previous video lectures, we did not see what F1 is actually. But here you are suddenly implementing, or suddenly you are introducing this F1 here because our interest is to determine what is the frictional resistance offered inside this pipe flow. what is the frictional resistance offered inside this pipe flow. So that is of our interest. For that reason, so we have been introduced this F1 is a frictional force which is acting inside that particular fluid flow. This F1 is actually the frictional force acting in that particular fluid flow. Now if I go with the general expression with respect to the heads of the fluid flow, if I go with the general expression of the head of the fluid flow, then my equation should be having only then my equation. So here if you see, this is actually the force. But here if you see, this is head actually. This is velocity head, kinetic head, and datum head. This is pressure head, velocity, kinetic head, and datum head. So here what we will write it is, let us write this expression in terms of the head. Let us write it in that expression in terms of the head as head loss due to the friction. So applying Bernoulli's equation at point 1 and 2, what we have obtained is P1 by rho g plus V1 square by 2g plus Z1 is equal to P2 by rho g plus V2 square by 2g plus Z2. Now here I have introduced a new term, so that it is head loss due to the friction. Now if I mean that if it is pressure head, velocity head, datum head, pressure head, velocity head, datum head, and this HF represents head loss due to the friction. This HF represents the head loss due to the friction. So this term has been introduced in our real fluid flow. So that is our HF. So that is our HF, where HF is representing the head loss due to the friction. So when we are talking about this equation, applying the Bernoulli's equation at point 1 and 2, now let us see what is the expression, what is my expression is going to change when applying the Bernoulli's equation inside that particular pipe flows. When applying the Bernoulli's equation inside this particular pipe flows, what is my equation is going to result with? So when I see this particular expression, so what I notice is here D1 is equal to D2. So that means there is no diametric change or there is no area change inside the pipe. So that means V1 square by 2g is equal to V2 square by 2g, as there is no area variation happened in that particular pipe. So V1 is equal to V2. Now if you notice it, along the center line of the pipeline, Z1 is equal to Z2. So that means even that the datum has no change along this particular pipe flows, which we have considered here in this one. So now my equation of the Bernoulli's will be changing like P1 minus P2 by rho g. I just brought this P2 onto the other side. P1 minus P2 by rho g is equal to HF. So where HF represents the head loss due to the friction. Or if I would like to write it as only P1 minus P2, if I would like to write it as P1 minus P2, then my expression can become P1 minus P2 is equal to rho g HF. So this is what the equation we have obtained on applying the Bernoulli's equation to this particular one, and where I have considered in terms of the head, so that it is head loss due to the friction. But in this expression, still my what is my head loss due to the friction if I am talking about, but whereas the resultant force has been not determined in my expression, where in this one the resultant force has not been determined in this expression. So let us discuss about this head loss due to the friction in order to reason this head loss due to the friction. So but we know that whenever we are connected with a so that it is when we see a pipe flow, connected with this one. So here in this image you can see So let me go back to the previous one so that you can clearly notice that. Yes. So here, if you see in this image, here in this one, if you see in this image, so we're at the point 1. We're at the point 1 to the point 2. We're at the point 1 to the point 2. There is a pressure loss has been happened. Well, there is a pressure loss has been happened inside this pipe. So here, if you see that piezometer is collecting up to this height of the H is being raised. Whereas at the second point, so where the flow is initiated from this point 1 to point 2, where I've seen at the second point, there is some head loss happened in this. There is some head loss happened in this. But this head loss, we are trying to address it with respect to the force resulting in that one. So that it is our frictional force. That it is our frictional force, we would like to address it. So in order to obtain that expression for the frictional force, so we have just introduced within a head loss due to the friction. Now let us obtain what exactly this particular equation is going to result in terms of the forces in order to determine that one. So let us talk about this F1 now. So that F1 is actually, so here our F1 is the frictional resistance. Here F1 is actually the frictional resistance. F1 is actually the frictional resistance force. So that it is actually equal to, frictional resistance. That is actually equal to frictional resistance per unit wetted area. Frictional resistance per unit wetted area. Frictional resistance per unit wetted area. Per unit velocity. And frictional resistance per unit area per unit velocity into the wetted area into the velocity square. Now here from this one, when you are writing the frictional resistance per unit wetted area, which we have defined earlier, so that we have defined it as F dash. And if we are talking about the area, that is wetted area, so let us take that it as wetted area is A and velocity square is V square. Velocity is V square. So from that one we can write that it is equal to F1. So this is nothing but the frictional force acting on that particular fluid flow, But generally when we are talking about the friction force, so that the friction force is exactly equivalent to the applied force. Friction force is exactly equivalent to the applied force under equilibrium conditions. So this is what your general physics you might have studied, that frictional force is equal to applied force. So that means when you are writing it, F is equal to mu into AP. So that it is where F into AP is the applied force and F is actually the frictional force, and mu is talking about the viscosity coefficient. But here the fluid flow, as far as the fluid flow is concerned, the fluid flow is dynamic in nature. So in order to make that particular fluid flow dynamic in nature, so let us utilize, so in order to understand better about this, how we got this expression of F dash A V square. So I'll tell you, even in the other way also you can utilize about this one. So F dash A into V square. So we can utilize the momentum equation also. Where momentum equation states that rho A V into V. So that states that rho A V square. Now you may say, sir, but actually the frictional force you have written it as F dash into area into V square. But you have written it like this. Now how can you say that this is actually the momentum equation acting in that particular fluid flow? No. So here if you see, on comparing these two equations, we have A into V square. So that is momentum inside the fluid flow. Is same. So only that F dash is being, so that means F dash is representing that frictional force here in this one. whereas in the actual force we have a density. Now, how can I relate this density in terms of the frictional force? How can I relate this density in terms of the viscous forces? In order to relate that one, we will be utilizing the kinematic viscosity. We will be utilizing the kinematic viscosity expression. So where the kinematic viscosity is given as dynamic viscosity by rho. Dynamic viscosity by rho. So that means where density can be taken as mu by v. So from that one, I can say yes. Yes. Now here, if you see, on the numerator I have dynamic viscosity. On the numerator I have dynamic viscosity, and on the denominator I have kinematic viscosity. I have kinematic viscosity. So that means both the forces are being considered in this one. So whether kinetic forces, whether the kinematic, that is the flow behavior, sorry, and that is the dynamic viscosity. So both have been got replaced. So that means this equation is actually representing the viscosity of the fluid flow behavior acting inside this particular pipe. So that is the expression we got it as mu by v into a into v square. But in our expressions, we are writing it as f dash into a into v square. So this is the term we have it. So now where is the origin of this equation? So if somebody asks you, so no, we have not remembered this equation. We have even obtained that expression for the frictional force acting inside that particular fluid flow. Frictional force acting in that particular fluid flow. So this is what actually involvement of the mathematical expression. So if you are familiar with this one, so then easily we can derive that particular expression for the fluid forces acting inside that particular pipe. So that is the expression for the frictional forces acting in that. We have obtained an expression for the frictional resistance force now. We have obtained an expression for the frictional resistance force, so that we can take help from the even from the momentum equation, or directly we can write it as f dash is equal to f1 is equal to f dash into a into v square. So this way also we can write it even. This way also we can write it even. Right now let us obtain the expression for the again from the Bernoulli's equation. Let us apply this frictional force resistance when we are talking about, so that we are stating it on the other side, so that it is the pressure loss which is happening inside the pipe. Pressure loss happening inside the pipe is due to the friction. So that is, we have found the resultant as F1 is equal to F dash into A into V square. F dash into A into V square. So when I'm substituting that equation, when I'm substituting my F1, that is the force resulted due to the friction, and where the fluid is in dynamic in motion. So I'll rewrite my above equation as P1A1 minus P2A2 is equal to F dash into A into V square. Just I have substituted that F1 here in this equation. Then my resultant equation has become, so that let me write in terms of P1 minus P2 as area change, that is A1 is equal to A2 is equal to A. There is no area change happened in this particular pipe. So I can take that A common in this one, and I'm just sending that A onto the other side. So then it will become F1 into A into V square by A. Now don't get confused in between this A and this numerator A and the denominator A, where the numerator A is the wetted area. Numerator area is the wetted area, and denominator area is from the pipe area. So where it is considering only the wetted area. So as far as this wetted area is considered, as far as this wetted area is being concerned, so the wetted area is F dash into, so where it can be wetted, it can be wetted only on the circumferential area. So that is pi d into L, pi d into, that is circumferential area, pi d into L into V square. So that is the velocity square divided by A, Now here in this one, if you see, P1 minus P2, but initially we have obtained that P1 minus P2 is equal to rho g HF. So that means we have already obtained an expression in terms of rho g HF. So substituting that expression here in this one, So rho g hf is equal to f dash into pi dl into v square by a. So where a is nothing but the area or diameter area of the pipe, where it is area of the pipe. So let me write expansion of that particular equation, that is pi into d into l into v square divided by pi d square by 4. So there where I'm writing it as the area of the pipe, pi d square by 4. If I'm writing on this side only rho hf, then I'm supposed to multiply with the rho g in the denominator. And here in this equation, if you see, hf will become 4 f dash l v square by rho g and d. So from this expression, I have obtained my head loss due to the friction, addressing that particular terms of the force which is resulting in that particular pipe, and this equation is known as the Darcy's Weisbach equation. This equation is known as a Darcy's Weisbach equation, and this equation can be best utilized in order to determine the frictional forces acting inside the pipe, that it is major losses happening inside the pipe. So that can be addressed by using this particular equation of Darcy's Weisbach equation. By using the equation of Darcy's Weisbach, we can obtain the resultant frictional force acting it, and the head loss can be found, and this formula is applicable for the pipe flows. Where the friction need to be determined, that is the head loss due to the friction need to be determined. That can be determined by using this formula of Darcy's Weisbach equation. So whenever in some cases what they will do is f dash by rho will be given as f by 2. So where it is f is a friction factor, writing in terms of the friction factor, the above equation can be rewritten as 4f l v square by 2g d. So this is the equation when they have given the resultant term with a friction factor. So this need to be applied when they have given with the resultant friction factor. And when the resultant friction factor is not available, so then you are supposed to utilize this particular formula of 4f dash l v square by rho gd. The only difference in between these two equations is here in this equation, this is become a f dash by rho has become f by 2, where f is becoming a friction factor, and this has been replaced, f dash by rho has been replaced with the f by 2 in this equation. So that is the only difference we have made. Equation when the friction factor is given, and when the frictional force acting per unit weighted area per unit velocity, this is the formula we are supposed to utilize it depending upon the inputs of the input values we are getting it. And whenever any competitive exam it is given, so depending upon that particular formula, in order to avoid confusion, so which formula need to be adopted when, So this is